evening, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday evening Spiritual Mind Healing Service. Coming to you from the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. I am practitioner Carol Campbell, and I welcome you to this evening's session. Let us begin as we begin all things with prayer. Please join me. Right here, right now, in this moment, we recognize that there is one power, one presence, one ideal, finding its perfect expression in, through, and as each one of us. In this knowing, then, I release this evening's spiritual mind healing service to that perfect intelligence that already knows how to say, what ideas need to be expressed. And these ideas are expressed through me to receptive hearts and minds so that everyone leaves refreshed and renewed. This is the truth about this evening's service. And I give thanks that this is now so. If we just take a deep breath in and take a few moments, just be still. We breathe in this moment. We are present to this moment and this moment only. Right where we are, all of God is. Therefore, right where we are is exactly where we need to be. We breathe in this moment, slowly, deeply. And as we exhale the day's activities. We exhale any anxiety. We exhale any busyness. And we simply surrender to this moment and this moment only. And at this moment, we know that whatever it is that we need to hear is expressed in ways that we can easily hear it, accept it, and act upon it. Betterment of ourselves and for everyone in our atmosphere, for the entire cosmos, because we are also a part of that. So take another deep breath in now. We breathe in this moment and this moment only. As we do so, we know that we are fully present here. Our hearts are open, our minds are open. All thoughts, all conversations, every idea that is expressed through me, through participants here this evening, are ideas that are nurturing and uplifting and inspiring. So we give thanks for this now. We give thanks for this as I release these words and let them be so now. And so it is. Is everyone hearing me clearly? Carol just said that she wasn't hearing me too clearly.
No, Carol, it's very it's breaking up and it's really, really bad.
Oh. All right, let me see if I turn off the fan, if that makes a difference. Hang on. Does that help?
A lot better.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't open the door either because the traffic outside is very low. So, my talk this evening. When things fall apart, crazy glue or crazy faith? I have a saying. Well, it's not my original saying, but I've adopted it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, if it is breakable, chances are that it will break at some point, despite our best efforts to protect it. Be that our bones, our hearts, our relationships, our precious belongings, everything can break if it is breakable. So what do we do when stuff breaks that we don't really want to break? I came across a process called kintsugi, which is a Japanese practice to find beauty in brokenness by transforming damaged ceramics into exquisite masterpieces. Kintsugi is such a nice sounding word. But what the process involves is if the ceramic piece breaks, they use a special Japanese lacquer that is then mixed with gold dust or silver or platinum, and the cracks are meticulously repaired. Now, the idea is not to make it like it was before, but to create something that is even more beautiful than it was before. So, the lesson here for me is not only to accept the imperfection, but to celebrate them. You know, I used to tell my students, if you can't hide it, paint it red. You know, so that there's no mistake. Don't try and hide it. You know, and for me, the kintsugi process is a great metaphor for life, for our life experiences. You know, the cracks in the pottery are like the cracks in our experience. And they show the scars that we carry throughout our lifetime. But those scars tell a story of survival, of added beauty, of adding value, adding character. So rather than being diminished by our scars, we become something greater than. We celebrate a cycle of brokenness and restoration. And there will be many times when you feel broken. But as many times as you feel broken are as many times as restoration is possible, right? So what the process reminds us is that in life, as in art, our breaks, our cracks, and our mends are not the end, but rather the beginning of new potential. In the West here, we tend to throw out that which is broken, you know, rather than seeing that as an opportunity to create something that's better than what was there before. Some of the lessons that I identified from the kintsugi process: to recognize that there is beauty in imperfection. You know, all of last month, the theme for the month from what name? Centers of Spiritual Living. The theme for the month was perfect imperfection, right? There's beauty in imperfection, or there can be beauty in imperfection, but the process of kintsugi deliberately creates beauty where imperfection was. Our brokenness does not equal permanent damage. It doesn't equal damage at all. We don't need to feel like we are damaged because we have a broken relationship, or we had our heart broken, or we lost a job, or we get a divorce. Those are all examples of brokenness in our experience, but it need not leave us damaged. Okay? What instead it can teach us is about our survival instinct, our resilience, our courage. We can heal and grow stronger in the broken places, right? Patience, precision, mindfulness are essential to the art of kintsugi, and also essential in our transformation from the idea of brokenness. If we can simply learn to celebrate our imperfections, celebrate those things that we think could diminish us. You know, you lose a job, you lose a friend, you have a loss through death. All of these things have the potential to diminish us. But we don't have to let that happen. There's one thing that we can remember is that life is cyclical. So therefore, nothing is permanent. That, by the way, is another Japanese philosophy, wabi-sabi, okay? In that nothing is permanent. Nothing is forever. Nothing is perfect. That's wabi-sabi. So transformation is always possible. And we have the tools to do that. One of the first tools is having faith. Having faith in a principle and a process that allows us to see beyond the obvious, to see past the hurt and the pain, and know that at the broken places, that's where the light comes in. And you ever notice that light doesn't need permission, or it doesn't need a wide open space to enter? The tiniest crack, the tiniest pinhole, light will find its way. So the cracks that we see as bad, as less than, that's where we can allow the light to come in to transform. Okay? So don't pretend that you haven't been broken. Honor the broken places. Highlight your survival by not only restoring the function of your life, but by living with dignity and purpose and strength and the courage to expose your vulnerabilities, your authenticity, your resilience. Our scars are something not to run from or to hide from others. They remind us of our trials and our triumphs, of our overcomings. Can you, or more aptly, are you willing and able to identify those places in your life where you feel broken, less than perfect, less than whole? You know, that coulda, woulda, shoulda place? You don't have to share it if you don't want to. But just for yourself, if you can identify those places in your life experience, at any time, remember, we can turn adversity into beauty. We can turn a setback into a setup for better. We can be resilient. So don't ignore the pain. Don't ignore the broken feeling. Because whether it's physical or emotional, unattended pain, which really is an indication that something needs to be repaired or transformed, that pain will impact us physically and emotionally. So pain itself can be a catalyst for transformation. But too often, what happens is we let the fear of pain hold us back. We let the fear of pain get in the way of the process of our healing. And I'm sure that, we've heard it here many times before, that healing happens from the inside out. Yes, the doctors and the medications are there to facilitate a process, but that's not what heals you. They can't heal you if the will isn't there within you to get better. In our avoidance of the pain, what we tend to do is to slap on some spiritual band-aid, and hope for the best. You know what I'm talking about? Instead of a consistent practice of meditation or journaling or affirmative prayer, we do a Sunday morning thing and expect transformation, and then are disappointed when transformation isn't happening. In order for any lasting change, we have to exercise faith and courage to believe in the changes that are not yet visible. Even in the Kinsunchi practice, merely filling the cracks doesn't reveal the beauty immediately, because the lacquer has to cure sufficiently for the gold to be revealed, right? So you have to give it time and patience. If we learn to embrace the imperfect, we can also celebrate our strengths. Love yourself, warts and all, and nourish your well-being in simple ways. Be mindful in everything that we do, think, and say. From nourishing the mind to nourishing the body, it's all one. How you eat is far more important, you've probably heard me say this before, than what you eat. So I have never been big on having special diets, etc. If you want to eat a bar of chocolate, doctors might not agree with me, but if you're going to eat it with all kinds of trepidation and anxiety, don't eat it. If you can eat it and just enjoy it, one square at a time, enjoy it. Practice gratitude. Gratitude in everything, for the good stuff and the not so good stuff. Everything we need for our growth and development is provided if we can look for the positive instead of the negative. And instead of trying to become, just be. Just be the best version of yourself, with your golden cracks and all. Just be. Dr. Elmer used to tell me, Carol, everyone is your teacher. So if you don't like the lesson, learn it quick. So fill up your cracks with as much gold dust as you want, and recognize the beauty in the transformation of what appears to be broken now. Namaste.
Carol,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to share something.
Mhm. Go ahead. Oh, you mean you're sharing something on the screen? Oh my. You just found that?
No, I made it.
Yep.
That's what Carol is talking about.
That's an example of Kinsunchi.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes. Yes. But as you can imagine, it's very meticulous.
Yeah, they fill the cracks with gold.
With the gold, it's a lacquer mixed with gold dust.
Wow.
And it can be gold or silver or platinum. But the idea is to create more value in what appears to be broken. And it is an established practice in Japanese traditional pottery.
So it would be like someone who, after divorce, she goes off and gets her PhD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to make something better than what the original could have been or would have been. You know, so rather than tossing out the broken pieces, put them back together to create something that is more spectacular than the original was.
Very nice.
Any other comments?
Shelly and Daly on YouTube thinks the kintsugi is beautiful. She said lovely, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, they are far more valuable once kintsugi has been applied than the original pottery piece. So people seek them out because they are incredibly beautiful. You know, just as our lives can be too. So
a lot really has to do with, I mean, the kintsugi artist, he or she is really looking at possibility. He's not just looking at the broken pieces of pottery on a table or on the floor. So when we look in the mirror, it's to not see, I have all right, talk a little more. I have another one to share.
Yes, when you look in the mirror, don't see the broken pieces, you know.
Like it's not over till it's over, you know.
Is it ever over?
No, there's no finish line.
Exactly. There's no end to how much better it can be. Hush you. Peanut is agreeing with me. I don't know what he's scratching at back there. I hope it's not a lizard. Hold on one second. Doggy. Peanut. Wow. I'm sorry about that.
No, but he's just assuring you the dogs know the truth.
It's something him after in the corner. So I'm hoping it's not a lizard.
Carol, I have another one for you. Hold on, but I'll find it. This is one of the slides that I use.
Oh. Yep.
So, you know, what are we looking? We're looking through the eyes of fear, or we're looking through the eyes of love. And when we look through the eyes of fear, we might not be so happy with what we see reflected back at us. But be very clear that what's reflected back at us is definitely all the stuff that's churning around in our consciousness about what's bad and terrible and horrible and so on. However, when we can look and see the possibility of our greatness, the possibility of our oneness, the possibility of who we are as powerful sons and daughters of the one, wow, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. You know, I had something written down here that I was going to say, and I didn't say it yet, you know. But what you keep in front of you is what you're moving towards.
Yeah.
So just to look at what is before you with wonder and awe at the possibility that exists. You know?
So rather than broken pieces of whatever, or like scrawny puss, You know, you can see yourself as a powerful, you know, lion.
A transformative force.
Absolutely. Mhm.
How come Dawn is not on here this evening?
I think she's on one of her travels.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in Montreal now, I believe. Hello to everybody else. Hi, George. Hi, Arlene. So no other comments?
Arlene.
Hi, Arlene.
No, I was just going to agree with what you had already said, and the photos that Sandy posted. That is, definitely where I was going. So I'm just agreeing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good. Do you see ways that you have been allowing the broken pieces to take priority?
Oh, definitely. Especially if you're insecure or the confidence is gone, and you just figure whatever is already broken, what's the purpose? Just leave it as is or just throw it out. So
throw it out. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I have a great respect for Japanese philosophy. It is always about finding beauty where none exists. My mom was an Ikebana master, and that's another area where they can take the littlest, the smallest things and create the most beautiful floral arrangements. A little sprig of something here, a little grass here, and one flower here, and it's absolutely exquisite. But then it's a very mindful process. And she used to tell you, this here represents the star, and this here represents the earth, and this here represents the universe and life. And say, yeah, I understand it better now. Now that I'm a little wiser.
George is saying that he's saying growing pieces instead of broken pieces.
Absolutely. Yes.
I had another little picture in my mind that, let us say you have a vase and it has flowers in there that you really have forgotten to change, and they've gotten very old and, wilted and brown and so on. And the water in the jar has mosquitoes and so on. And then some person, this is your priceless what's it not it jar. Somebody comes along and knocks the jar off the table. I mean, yes, so here's the opportunity to throw away that which no longer serves you, and then take up the pieces and create beautiful art. So there may be a time where we can throw away stuff, throw away the guilt and throw away the shame and throw away the fear.
Yeah, throw away that which is not possible to be mended.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. You have to be discerning and make choices that are for your growth and upliftment. So, hanging on to something that is not going to take you in the direction you want to go is not helping you, right? Like I was thinking today when I was sorting out my ideas about this, that if you get on a bus that's going, you want to go downtown and you hop on a bus that's going to Papine instead. You don't stay on the bus and complain about the bus going to Papine and you want to go downtown. You come off of that bus and take the right bus that's going to take you downtown, right? You recognize that this is not the way I want to go. I want to go a different way. And so I make the choices that will enable me to go in a different direction. That's for another talk.
The fact of combining the wabi-sabi and the kintsugi is very important, because the broken pieces could seem like an imperfect rendition of the thing that was there before, you know, but seeing the beauty in the imperfection, which is what Wabi Sabi allows you to do.
Right.
Then the practice of kintsugi, you know, can be applied, whether it be emotionally, physically, or to the vase that had in the rusty flowers, you know. So those types of analogies I find very important, and an important part of this teaching for us to encourage people to see beyond the physical in the moment, you know. And so I find that quite interesting. Thank you, Carol.
You're most welcome. Trying to see if I left anything out.
I was also
Shelley,
thinking that you know, sometimes our parents see broken pieces when all we're doing is growing, as Anthony said, growing, you know. Yeah. So sometimes people see broken pieces when we're just putting it together to make it more beautiful.
Yeah, and it's the growing pieces, not the
Yes.
broken pieces.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know, parents do the best they can.
Mhm.
And sometimes we give them cause. You know?
and the glue that they're going to use, don't have to go to city. More like a leather strap.
But the one thing that is sure is that we always have the capacity to heal and to grow stronger in the broken places. You know? Yeah, even if it's a tamarind switch. So
You know, Steve, you have a song called Pure Gold.
yes.
And I'm thinking that is maybe the golden powder that we use in our work is forgiveness.
And gratitude.
Yeah.
Any one of the practices really, you know, is a recognition of spirit, even in the pieces, the shard, even in the brokenness of the vase, you know, recognizing spirit in all of those pieces and knowing that it is the glue that can bring them back together, you know, that gold dust, that platinum dust, that silver dust. Yeah.
All right. So if we have any prayer requests, we can put them in the chat. My screen is doing funny things here and I'm afraid to touch it. So anybody looking and see anything in the chat, either on YouTube or on Zoom, you can just tell me and I'll write them down. You have no idea how afraid I am to touch this screen here. It took me over a year to get this instrument working.
Arlene has a request of help. Request for help.
Okay.
That's it so far.
All right. Well, we can start there and everybody else can join in after. This is an affirmative prayer of health for Arlene. In this moment, I am recognizing that there is one perfect expression, which we know as God. This God is now finding its way to be demonstrated as perfect health for Arlene right here in this moment. Every part of her physical, mental, emotional body is in perfect alignment with that which knows her to be perfect and true. Every idea expressed in her mind is expressed with clarity. Every word that is spoken tinged with love and light. Every action in which she is involved is an action that is transformative, not just for her, but for everyone in her atmosphere. And with this in mind, her physical body responds to the knowing that she is an instrument for God to be revealed. So every cell, every tissue, every function, every issue is redolent with that God presence and knows itself to be God in expression. There's a rejoicing that is now going on in her physical body, in her mind, and in every aspect of her livity. God is. She is. She knows that she is the instrument of God on this plane of existence. Therefore, she is fully aware that her words, her thoughts, her actions are that of God. She accepts this, she surrenders to this, and allows that transformative energy to flow through her unimpeded, so that everything that needs to be put right is put right now. Everything that seems out of alignment is restored now. All ideas of transformation are hers now. I give thanks for this as she stands tall, recognizing her oneness with the divine, recognizing her oneness with the all-beingness of God, the all-goodness that God is. I give thanks for this. I know it, I feel it, I release it into that infinite law that is making it so even as I speak. Giving thanks that all this is already so.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Thank you.
You're welcome. Arlene, are you in Canada?
In California.
Okay.
Okay. Carol, so right action for Jen,
Okay.
divine, and I think it would include Leighton as well. Please treat for the divinely ordered completion of my work and filing of the appeal, which was due Friday last in New York.
This is Leighton.
Yes, so right action in a legal matter.
Okay.
And it's really for a client with successful completion. Mhm.
Okay.
Spirit knows all the details, Leighton.
Yep. Please join me in an affirmative prayer of right action for Jennifer and for Leighton. God knows, and God is the infinite knower. It knows all, it sees all, it understands all, and it restores all to rightness of being. There's a divine intelligence that guides our actions. This divine intelligence ensures that there is only right activity that is always taking place. Every action has a reaction, and every action that is guided by God has a reaction that is totally beautiful, that is totally restorative, that is absolutely perfect in its results. So I am knowing for Jennifer and for Leighton that whatever needs to be done is done through a process that they are guided to do the right thing. They are open and receptive to this guidance. And they surrender their little selves to embrace the larger idea that right where they are, there's a divine activity that is taking place, which results in right action always. Whatever the situation may look like now, there is a solution. On the flip side. So they know what it is that they need to know. And everything that needs to be revealed in this knowing is revealed with effortless ease and allows them to act with confidence and purposiveness, so that at the end of the day, the rightness of God's activity is prevalent. I accept this. I know it to be the truth for Jennifer and for Leighton and for every activity in which they're involved at this moment. Right action is the only action that is possible with God at the center and God at the circumference. At every place in between, there is right action taking place. I give thanks for this. And I know that the results are exactly what is required to demonstrate right activity of God. I give thanks for this, and I release these words now into that infinite law, knowing with complete confidence it is already so. So it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay. Is that it? If there are no more requests, then we can.
Hey, I need to talk to you.
Who need to talk to me?
Sorry. Sorry, hold on. Yes, I will. Sorry.
Okay. Do you have the slides for the announcements? Ashe Leighton. Sandra, you have the slides? You're going to share screen? Here we go. Some important dates coming up, which we have been telling you about for a month already. November 8th to the 10th, it's an exciting installation weekend. Installation of Reverend Michelle Senegal, our senior minister at the Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living. And it's going to be a grand affair, elegant and inspiring. And we start off, it kicks off with a fantastic concert, which will feature the likes of a New Thought sensation musician, Ricky Byers from California. And other people on the ticket include Harold Davis, Dwight Richards, and university singers. Tickets are now available. Call the temple. Get your tickets, get them early. There's an early bird special too, so find out about that and plan for it. And also, every Saturday between 11 and 1 o'clock, our in-house attorneys at the temple are offering free consultations at the temple. It's one-on-one consultation, so it's not in a group that anybody have to know your business. And this is for free. Anybody can come. You don't even have to be a member of the temple. If you need some answers, we can give it to you. So 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturdays at the temple itself. And next week, Tuesday, join us again. Every time I read that thing, it says, let's play with you. But let's pray with you. Next Tuesday, Reverend Sonia Davidson will be the speaker at the Spiritual
That's
Life.
not correct. That's not correct.
It's not? Okay. Who is it?
It is me.
Oh, it is you. Okay. Next Tuesday, Practitioner Vance Gardiner will invite you to pray with him and to play with him too. 6 o'clock next Tuesday. Same here, same time, same place. And now comes the good part. You know, our temple operates on faith and good wishes and donations. So if you feel moved to support our ministry, don't be shy. Donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And we'll be forever grateful for your generosity, for helping us to be a beacon of light for the world. Let your light so shine. And if you're ready to give right now, repeat the prayer of giving, receiving. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Mother God. So it is. Ashe. Another prayer for our center. If you would like, you can open your mic and we can say it together or not. Prayer for our center. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. And now the prayer for Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island, Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women. The truths of life were set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And now for our closing affirmative prayer. As we close out this healing service this evening, we go our separate ways with joy in our heart, with love surrounding us, with wisdom guiding us, and with God, energy supporting us in everything that we do. This evening's service has been revelatory and transformative. all minds, all hearts, all being is now filled with that God presence, because we have all chosen to be present to it. I give thanks for this, and I release these words now into that infinite law, knowing that it is accepted, it is believed, it is acted upon with sincerity and love. I give thanks that it is so now, and so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, no.
Thank you, Carol.